Okay guys, here we are at Capital Audio Fest 2022, and you guys are going to be here following me along my vinyl journey. We are getting ready to go downstairs to the marketplace and see if I can find any quality recordings. Now, to be fair guys, I have no idea what I'm looking at, okay? I'm a newbie, complete amateur. I have been with digital for the last decade, and so vinyl is entirely new to me. Although I grew up watching my grandmother and my grandfather play vinyl. I remember them playing Michael Jackson, that Thriller album back in like 1986. I was only 7 years old at that time. And so it brings back memories. So far, I have a great feeling about vinyl, so I'm quite excited that you guys are gonna follow me right now, so come with me. Here we are, guys. We are getting ready to see what vinyl is all about. Follow me. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, here we are. First stop. Let's see what they got here. What am I looking at here, man? It's so many of them. So many of them. Let's see if we can go to another place where there is less audiophiles looking at vinyl. Come on. Okay, let's drive here, guys. Let's see what's going on. Hi, guys. How are you guys? Well, this is my first time looking or buying any vinyl at all. I just got a Kronos for my channel, and some of my friends recommended a few albums, so I don't know if you guys have them, so you're just my first stop.
What are we looking for?
A friend of mine recommended, let me see, this Fleetwood Mac Rumors, but he gave me a specific version. I don't know if you...
Let me come around to the other side.
All right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. Go ahead. After you, let me see if I show you the version here. Hopefully we have enough Wi-Fi.
There's a double 45 version of it, I think.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah. Let me see. Maybe I gotta just
I'll go see if I can find it right now.
Sure. We have technical difficulties right now, I must say.
Did you bring any of the Fleetwood Mac Rumors with double 45 from the...
Okay.
And what else?
So this is the one that he mentioned. I don't know if that's...
45 RPM.
Yep. Okay, so this is the first one.
Okay, what's next?
He gave me this one by Sade, I think it is.
Let's see.
He swears by this one.
It's a beautiful album.
All right, so we're gonna get the first one, now number 2, and I'm gonna try to see how many I can afford, okay, because because I've seen some records that go extremely expensive, so I brought a limited amount of cash, but I wanna see, guys, you know, what I come back home with. I'm pretty excited, to say the least. So this is actually pretty cool. For those of you who love vinyl, it's definitely a different experience.
Now, all we have right now is the box set, which does include that record.
Got it.
And a number of our other ones.
Okay, let's see what else did my friend recommend. Okay, how about I ask you, what do you recommend? I'm not into classical, sorry, I gotta say it. I'm more into this type of music, or let me see, Adele maybe, or...
You got Adele, do you like stuff like, more like Steely Dan or more popular stuff like Adele?
Adele, more popular. Give me something that's a little more like, I wouldn't call it mainstream, but yeah, more current. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to say that.
Oh, Adele, I'm sorry.
Yes. It's going to be quite interesting.
We've got 25.
Okay.
We've got 19. We've got 30.
The 30, let me see the 30.
That would be the newest.
Okay, this is the newest one. Okay. And there are different versions, or this is the only version in production right now, or?
Let's see. I think this is the, well, as far as I know, this is the only version.
Okay.
The only one that we have. We usually try to get all the variants.
Okay.
And would have brought them if we'd have them.
Okay, so number 2. All right, cool.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Let's see what else we got.
Okay.
Let's figure out another one. Now, I like Chris Stapleton, and I just bought a version at Walmart. Don't kill me. I did. Okay.
You bought what?
Chris Stapleton, the one that has Tennessee Whiskey, that song, at Walmart, because that's where I saw it for the first time, right?
Sure.
But I like him, so let me see. Someone like him, like that type of music.
He's country, so like a Sturgill Simpson or a Luke Combs.
Sure, okay.
Do you know either of those guys?
I have never heard him, but I'm open to exploring with vinyl, right? Because I've heard music through vinyl that I typically don't listen to on digital. And so it's a new discovery for me of music.
Do you have the latest? This just came out. That's the new Luke Combs.
Okay.
That might be a great place to start.
All right.
And
sure. Number 3.
What about jazz? You into jazz at all?
What do you have? How about that? Let me see. Let me see what you can. Do you have something off the top of your head that's mainstream jazz? Something that everyone knows, that you've heard on vinyl multiple times, that for sure sounds amazing?
Yeah. I mean, multiple things. Let's flip through here real quick. That's a great start. Thank you.
Okay.
Can't go wrong.
So that's 4. All right.
Any other genres you've been interested in exploring?
I'm thinking right now. What else can I think about? It's
you
like
know what else just came out?
Okay.
The new Jamiroquai. Did you ever get into Jamiroquai? He's sort of like a white, I guess early on, like a white British. What is he British? I can't remember. Stevie Wonder, but he's an excellent disco funk guy.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see it.
That one just came out. Let's see, Dynamite. That's the new one.
That's the new one?
Let me see if we have one of his classic ones that at least I could.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Get this one. Get that one. I was going to say get that one instead of the new one because I can vouch for that.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with that.
All right, so we got 5.
Country, we got classic rock, we got Adele, we got
classic rock. Interesting. What do you have that sounds good? I'm trying to go for the recordings that will blow my socks off. Like, I'm trying to make sure that my experience is quite pleasant right now.
Hey Charles, the Steely, not the Steely Dan, just the 1-disc version that just came out.
Right. What about it?
Is that fabulous sounding as well, would you say? He's looking for something in the classic rock vein that's going to knock his socks off audio, recording wise.
Okay.
Give anything new or interesting?
Particularly on the Steely Dan, and Fremer's over there has been digging through the classical stuff, looking for stuff. I got to go get him in a minute. The problem with Steely Dan was always you had somebody, particularly Donald Fagen, who was obsessive compulsive to the nth degree, and he would over-engineer these albums to be spectacular, and then they would get pressed on ABC, which was maybe the worst label in the world for mass-producing stuff. So you had great-sounding records that sounded like shit because of how they were pressed.
Got it.
So typically when we're talking about audiophile stuff, not stuff like this where they're like collections of reissues, but we're talking about upper-end audiophile stuff, they usually pick titles that sounded really good to begin with, and they did them as well as they could, and they sound marginally better. And are they worth it? Absolutely. But I've never seen one where the difference between the regular issue and the audiophile, the gap was as big as it is on the new Steely Dan UHQR. The difference on the one single disc is that it was not pressed at QRP, it was pressed at optimal and didn't get anywhere near the kind of attention to detail. Does it sound better than the original pressing? Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Does it approach the UHQR? Not even close.
Wow.
But there's an enormous price difference.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But you get what you pay for.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense.
They are going to do, Fagan has agreed, excuse me, let me use this. Fagan has agreed to let Chad do all of them. And they are working diligently. And Fagan is cruising with all the masters on the UHQRs. So if it were I, and I was going to be collecting them, I would do the UHQR, just because I know I'm going to be able to get every other title in that same. You can just have them all lined up on a shelf eventually, and they'll all be glorious, perfect, wonderful.
Got it.
So the regular one is great, but optimal is not QRP, and it's just not quite the same level. It's about halfway there.
Okay.
So you decide what you want to do. We have, I will say this, that all the vendors here who we know very well, and we actually set up the day before the show opens because all the vendors want to come down and get their stuff to use for demos. Every single one of them has gotten the Steely Dan UHQR, which we're getting low on, and the new Jethro Tull stand-up. Those are the two titles they're using as demos in their rooms. So if you're trying to show off a $100,000 pair of speakers and that's what you want to use, that's probably a pretty good recommendation.
Okay.
I would think.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it did, and it left me lost a little bit. I got to say that because of some of the words and letters and all of that he threw at me. So since I am a digital boy,
UHQR means ultra high quality records, which used to be something that MoFi did. They now do what they call one step. Okay. Because Chad bought the rights to UHQR.
Oh, that's
how that happened. It used to be back in the day that you could buy regular single disc MoFis, remember, and then the boxes, which were the UHQR. And it means ultra high quality record. And it was the same thing. They just went further than they had gone before.
I can show you where we stock some of the more audiophile quality pressings.
All right.
Or if you just want something that's...
Let's see Rock Pop, yep. Let's see.
I mean, that can't go wrong.
Okay.
It's going to sound great.
There you go.
As a Led Zeppelin fan?
Yeah, definitely.
That's one of the better.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you.
It does get confusing. I'm sorry if I.
No. I'm learning. I'm actually
getting into it.
I'm getting into it. My first time having.
This is like the crack cocaine of records.
It is absolutely. But it's great to have such a huge selection.
These guys are, we're in the business.
Yeah.
And we collect some of this stuff.
No, I see that, and there's a lot of passion and with this.
You know what Chad said? He said Chad owns Acoustic Sounds and owns QRP, and he calls me 5 times a day. We've known each other 30 years.
Okay.
He said, Charles, you and I are like that drug dealer who's become their own best customer. That was a great analogy.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Nice to meet you too. Great. So we got 6. All right. Let's do these 6 then. Let's try. Okay. Let's see. Cash only? How do you guys or credit card?
Whatever works.
Okay, let's
set up. You can bring them over to Dave.
All right.
He will take care of you.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Much appreciated. All right, guys. There you have it. 6 records, and I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Some of these, I have this one I'm excited for. Okay, and this one I'm excited for as well. And these are new discoveries for me, so it's going to be quite interesting to see what these sound like through my Kronos turntable. Now, mind you, this is music that I am, right now discovering that I'm sure it probably has been around longer than I have been alive. But that's the plan, right? That's the purpose, I think, of doing vinyl, is to explore things, That's the purpose of vinyl, right? It's to explore things that you normally wouldn't go for. And if it serves you at all, what I'm about to say, I can say that living with a $120,000 DAC for the last almost 12 months, and many other DACs in the past, Lampensator, DCS Rossini, DCS Vivaldi, Core Dave, and Esoteric as well, and now with MSB, two different MSBs, the Reference and the MSB Select 2. I can say to you guys that for being only into vinyl for the last week or so, the experience is quite phenomenal. The richness that I am finding is something that it's hard for me to explain, but I plan to make a video about this in the future as far as what is it that this here is giving me, what is it injecting into my system, a system that some of you guys have oftentimes criticized or given a lot of props. One, for being clear, highly resolving, extremely detailed, or at times analytical. Is it the recording? Is it the fact that I'm streaming music and we are placing the blame on my system? Is that really what's going on? Or is it the fact that I need to put some of this through my system and see if that completely wipes the feeling of lack of soul at times, for lack of a better word right now. I can't think of anything right now. So for now, I can say to you that I'm buying records because I'm quite eager to try vinyl, and I am not into tinkering right now. I must say to you guys, I don't want to tinker. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I understand that throughout time you have to make adjustments. I understand that throughout time, you know, you have to measure things again and things go, you know. Greg Weaver was just telling me that, you know, throughout, like, you got to put oil in the arm and all kinds of things over a certain amount of time, and that's okay. But I want to do those as part of maintenance. I don't want to start changing things that don't need to be changed. Does that make sense? That's the goal here. Because if I start embarking on the tinkering, I promise you, more than likely my days with vinyl will be over. Because if I'm going to tinker, I might as well continue to tinker with my digital rig, right, which has been painful at times. But I don't want to do that with vinyl. I want to see vinyl more as of the kind of like the source that allows me to just plug and play and forget about the rest, okay? So stay tuned, because when I get home, I'm going to give you my impressions of these records right here, these albums right here. Peace.